Hey guys, it's Loves to Loom here. Today I'm going to show you how to create my Lotus bracelet. This is a loom design. I made a ton of them. I also want to thank Forest Hook for choosing the name Lotus. I think it's very fitting. You can definitely play around with the colors, as you can see with the second one and this one here, to get a little bit of a different look. It actually reminds me of like a king's crown when you do it like that. And depending on the bands you use, you could wear it on the reverse side. This one I really like how it looks, but some of them I don't like the back. But of course that's up to you. So for this bracelet, you will need 168 bands for a full wraparound bracelet. The breakdown of that is 83 of the white, 36 of this medieval pink, and 49 of the medieval green. So you'll also need one C-clip and your hook, and I will explain the loom setup in just a moment. To make this bracelet, you will need to have at least 5 bars wide. If you do only use the 5, it will be about this big, and you will need more extension bands. I'm going to use 2 sets of 5 bars wide, so my 5 are here, and then I have my next 5 connected right in front of it where those long blue bases are. And I'll have a video linked to this video showing you how to do a 5-bar setup if you're not sure how to do that. So the first thing we are going to do is choose the colors that sit right here in this very center. So I alternate it with white and then medieval pink. Today I'm going to use clear where the white is and opaque pink where the pink is. So make sure you have both of those colors nearby. And the first color we're going to lay is going to be my clear, which is what was white on my example bracelet. We're not going to lay a loose one there like I normally do. We don't need to for this bracelet. This is actually going to be the band that we close it up with. And now we'll go to our second color, which for me is pink. And we will keep alternating both colors down the loom. Now, if you are only using one set of 5, you will only lay 11 straight ones. And you will notice that you have 1 bar pin shy at the end. But I do that for a reason, just because if you want to be able to follow exactly how my loom looks, you will need to lay only 11 of them. If you lay 12, the beginning of your loom is not going to look like mine when we go to start looping. So that's just a little tip if you want to be able to follow every single step that I'm doing. But for those of you who are using 2 sets of 5, we are going to do this until we reach the very end of our loom. So I'm going to get these finished being laid, and then I will meet you back here when I am done. Okay, so I have laid all of mine, and I did push them down, so make sure you do that too. We're going to lay more of the same color, and the bands that we laid now are going to be what sits right here on the side, and then the white that's like laying underneath of it. So we're going to start on the second row here with my clear. We are going to lay 2 horizontals. And then on top of those, we're going to lay an upside down V connecting to the center. So that will be where my pink is. We're going to skip this row and come up to the next. And we will start that again. So we will lay our horizontals. And then our upside down V. And as you can see, the pink that's sitting under it is matching my V or upside down V. So that's another way that you can make sure that you're laying it on the correct pin, since we do every other. So we're going to keep alternating every other row. So I'll come up to this one. Lay my horizontals. And then my upside down V. So you could definitely play around with like the color combination a lot on this one. There's so many different possibilities, honestly. I really do like how it looks using all one color for the section as well. But I think this looked more like a lotus, which is why I decided to do the tutorial on this one. So we would do this step all the way to the end of the loom. So I'm going to get mine finished, and I'll meet you back here when I'm at the top. Alrighty, so this is what it should look like. My last upside down V connects to the second to last pin. So make sure yours looks like that too. And then go ahead and push them down. I already did mine. And now we're going to lay some more of the clear bands, and they're going to be the ones that sit right here. So we're just going to be laying some horizontal bands on the side. So come up to the second row and lay it out like so, and repeat on the left. Come up to the next section. We will lay our side horizontals there. And we will do this on every section, just like this. So go ahead and get these laid on every single row, and then I'll tell you what bands we're going to lay next. So I'm already done mine, and this is what mine looks like. So when you are caught up, just push them down, come back to the beginning, and we are going to lay our next bands, which are going to be the medieval green that's on this one. I'm going to use opaque green, olive green, and we're going to be laying more upside down V's, but it's going to be like a longer set of them. So come up to the second row on the outer pins. I like to start on the left side, and we'll lay it diagonally into the center and into the center, like so. And then we will repeat the same thing on the right side. Diagonally in and repeat. So it makes like a long upside down V. Come up to the next section where our horizontals are on the side, and we'll do the same thing. I lay my 2 on the left and my 2 on the right. So we will do this on every single section all the way down the loom. So I'm going to go ahead and get mine laid quickly, and then I will come back and show you what we're going to do next. Okay, so when you are finished laying yours, make sure yours looks like mine. Do not forget to lay the very last one at the end. Push it down some, and then we are going to lay our last layer, which is going to be some more clear bands, and you basically only see it right here on the side. So I'm going to stick to my clear. We're going to come up to the second row on the second and fourth bar pins and lay a long diagonal stretch going between these 2 middle pins and connecting it up to the next outer section, like that. Repeat for the left side. So it's going to be the second bar pin in from the left and stretch it up, connecting it to the outer pin of the next section. So that's where ours ended. We're just going to come into the pins next to them, and that's where on our next one will start. Do a long diagonal stretch up to the next section and repeat on the left side. This is where it ended. I'll come into the pins next to it and start my next one, like so. So we will do this on every row except for the very last section. So I will get mine laid, and I will show you what the bottom of my loom looks like when I am done. So I'm at the end of my loom. As you can see, this is my last section down here. I don't have one connecting to that last one because it would end out here, and we don't have any bands out there. And then we can turn our loom around facing us. We will grab one more of whatever you used where my olive green is, and we will place a cap band on the very center, and then we can start the looping. So before we do start the actual looping, I want to just give you 2 quick little tips. At the end, you may want to watch when I take it off of the loom. You don't want to go ripping this off. You want to use your hook for the outer rows, so I do tell you about that at the end. And I also show you a little trick to help fix these little bands right here if they're not sitting right. So for those tips, stick around and watch the end. So we're going to start the looping, and we're going to start by looping the green bands, which are now our big V. So we'll go in our cap band, grab the top band, which is coming from the left. So bring it to the left, go into that same pin, and loop that one to the left again. We will do the same thing on the right side. And bring these ones back to themselves towards the right. We're going to go into the center pin and loop up our bottom clear. And now we're going to loop the pink. So we're going to go into the clear that we just looped up and grab the top diagonal pink and bring that to the left. And the next one will go back to itself, which is to the right. And this band, this clear band, always twists like that every time. There's nothing I can do to stop that, but it does not affect the bracelet. The side that is facing us is actually the bottom of the bracelet, so we don't really see that anyway. So now we're going to go into that same pin and loop the bottom pink forward, like so. So now we're going to come up to these side pins right here and loop the long diagonal clear. There is only one band holding this in, so you do want to be careful. So grab that clear diagonal, and we're going to loop it up to this pin right here. So it will not be going back to itself. It will be connecting to the middle of our green V bands. So grab the top band on the left and bring it in. So this is what it looks like. So for the next step, I'm actually going to have you do something, because when we go to loop these V bands, there is a clear band that is always in the way, and sometimes it makes it almost impossible to loop it out. So I am going to have you come to this center pin right here where my pink is. You're going to go inside this little tiny opening right here, and you're going to grab the top clear band that's in there. Pull it towards yourself and sit it on this pin. This step is not a part of the looping. It's just to make this step easier when we get there. Trust me, it will make it so much easier if you do that. Once you move that out of the way, we're going to come up to the side pins here, and we're going to loop the clears into the center. So I like to always start on the left. I'm going to grab my horizontal clear and bring it in. Then we're going to go into that pin. Make sure you're getting in front of everything, including that pink one, so that you're grabbing the bottom clear and bring it into the center. And we'll do the same on the right side. Bring it in and bring it in. So now this is where we're going to loop our green. And like I said, we already moved that band, so now it's going to be much easier. All we have to do is move these top two clears, and we will loop our diagonal green out to the left, and we will do that 2 times, like that. We'll come back in, and we will loop our greens out to the right. Make sure you do both of them, like so. We will come back to this middle one and loop up our clear. And now we will loop our pink. They will go back to themselves. And we will do the last pink, which is in the center, like so. And now we need to do our diagonal clears. So that's going to be these side bands. Remember to do this carefully. And that's going to come up to the one that's closest to that pin diagonally. And then we'll do the same on the right side. I felt like I could not get my camera like at a good angle, so I hope this is okay for you guys. I've been messing with it for such a long time. And hopefully you can see everything I'm doing. There's a lot going on here today. So we just looped that there. And we're going to come back here, and before we start looping these in, I'm going to have you do that step again. So we're going to come to this pin here. And we're going to go inside that pink band to grab the top clear. Just pull it towards yourself and sit it on the pin, just so it's not in our way when we get a loop. If you don't want to do that, you can just proceed with this next step, but I'm telling you, when you go to loop that, it's 9 out of 10 times going to be in your way, and it's going to make the green bands hard to loop. So now we will loop our clear. We will bring that in, push everything out of the way and bring it in again. Repeat on the right. And now we can go ahead and start the next section, which starts with our green V bands. So we'll go in here and loop the top one out to the left, go into that one and loop that out to the left, and we'll do the same for this right one. We will back up and do the center here. Make sure you're getting everything moved so that you can grab the very bottom clear and move that forward. And now we will loop all of our pinks out. So the top one will go to the left, this one will go to the right, and the last one will go in the center forward. So now we need to do our long diagonals. Like that. And now we're going to do our horizontal ones, but like I said, I like to move this one out of the way. And now I will loop them in. So we're going to start our next section. So we will start by looping out our green back to themselves. Repeat on the right side for your green. We're going to go in here and loop up our bottom clear. And now we will loop all of our pinks out. Don't forget the bottom one goes forward. And now we will do our long clear diagonals. I'm not going to move this band this time just to show you guys what I'm talking about. This one's sitting a little lower. Usually it sits right on top of the green. So let's see how it works. We're going to bring our horizontal bands in 2 times on each side. This time it's going to work. Watch. I can tell just how the band is sitting. And I'm sure some of you are probably going to try to do it without moving that band. And now we'll push this out of the way and grab our green. Yeah, that worked without any problem. But trust me, I swear I've made this bracelet, as you can see, like 7 times. And almost every row gave me a hard time. I tried to change the bracelet so that wouldn't be an issue for you guys, but it just wouldn't work. So if the band is getting in your way, just move it like I showed you. If it's not getting in your way, then that's great. You can just continue on without moving it. So don't forget to bring your clear up. And now we will loop our pink out. Everything goes back to its original place, back to itself, except for the long diagonal clears. So I looped out on my pink. Now we're going to do our long diagonal clear. And we're going to loop our horizontal in. If you have to move that band, go ahead and do so. I can tell that that one is sitting lower than my green band, so I'm not going to do that again. And if you already have these looped in, like this, and you go to try to do the looping and it's getting in your way, you could still move it right now. You just grab it. It's right here. So it's not too late if you decide that you don't want to, do it initially, but you get in here and you just can't seem to grab the bands, then you can certainly move the clear band now. So I'm looping my green out. I'm going to come back to the middle, loop up my clear, loop my pinks all back to themselves. And now we will do our diagonal clear. we will do our horizontals. And then we will start the section all over again, starting with my green. I can't believe how right now that clear band is not getting in my way. You guys probably think I'm nuts. But I promise you, every time it was giving me a hard time. Come back, do the center clear. And then we will loom out our pinks. Our long horizontal. And now our side. I think I called that a long horizontal. I did, didn't I? That should have been a long diagonal. Now we're doing our side horizontals. So I'm on like the very last part. After looping up my green, I immediately come back to the center and then loop up my center clear and then my pink, because we have no more top diagonal bands to loop. After you loop out your pinks, don't forget your center one. We will finish off by doing our last horizontal band into the center. And lastly, we will go into this pin right here, grab the bottom band and loop it forward like so. That is the band that we're going to apply our C-clip to. So I just take it off and attach my C-clip. So I did tell you guys earlier, I highly recommend that you go through with your hook and release all of these side bands. And then once you release all of the outer rows, then you can go through. You might want to actually release the very top one with your hook too, just so you don't take a chance of popping the C-clip off, pulling it too hard. Once you have a little piece to grab, just do one row at a time carefully like that and pull it off of your loom, and I'll show you how to fix it when I'm done taking mine off. Okay, so I've pulled mine off of the loom. As always, you're going to definitely need to go section by section and stretch it like this to help the bands fall into place. But there will be some fixing that you're probably going to need to do. For example, see how some of my green bands right here are like tucked in? It shouldn't be tucked in. It should be sitting like that. So you just pull it out and stretch it again so it falls into place. Sometimes you might need to twist the band, or untwist it rather. Now, if you go to pull it out and it comes out too far, I'm going to untwist it. If it comes out too far, just flip it over, and this band right here is the other side of it. You can just pull on that to help it go in a little bit. I pulled it too much, but that's how you can tweak that. And then you do the same thing for these pink bands. Sometimes they could be a little wonky like that. So on the back side, this band right here, the pink band, you just pull it, and the same on this side. Now sometimes it can make the back look a little messy, but I don't care because it's going to be facing down. But that's how you can tighten those bands up. Lastly, I like to go and check the center because a lot of the times it twists. See how that's twisted? I don't like that. I like it to look nice and clean, especially for my pictures. So I pull it out some and I just roll it to the right. And I stretch it and it falls into place. Here's another one. I just pull it out and I roll it with my fingers and it untwists it. So that's it. That is what you do. And then of course you just attach the C-clip to the cap band right here. But that is how you create my Lotus bracelet. I certainly hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully this was not too hard of a design to do. I do feel like it was a little bit trickier, but let me know down below what you guys thought of it. And also don't forget to tag me on Instagram if you make one under Loves the Loom. And also it would really be a really big help if you did like this video, if you hit the like button. It is a big help to me and my channel. But that will be it for today, you guys. I appreciate you watching another video, and I'll see you really soon at my next tutorial. Thanks, guys. Bye.